Hi, if you like the video, please remember to subscribe. Hi, I'm Rob from robnunphoto.com, and this is a quick video looking at the Kodak No.1 folding pocket camera. I picked this amazing camera up from the car boot a few weeks ago for, I think it was £7. I've been looking for a bellows folding type camera for a while, but a lot of the time when you find them, they might use different types of film. But what attracted me to this one, well, was the price, and also the fact you might be able to see that it uses 120 film. I've shot some colour film for it, and it came out okay. You'll see the example images at the end of the video. There's a few little bits of flare or light leaks. I'm not quite sure what they are, so I'll be looking at the camera a little bit more closely. And it might not even be a fault of the camera. It could be the way that I rolled the 120 film, because 120 roll film comes on like a paperback, so it's a little bit more prone to leaks and things like that than normal film. So let's have a look. So to open it up, all we do is we pop that. In fact, before we do that, I'll just show you how you load the film. What you do is you slide that up there, and then this whole thing, he says, comes out this way, like so, and then you load your film in the back there. You put the film at that end, and then you load it onto your spool at that end, and there's the wind on there. But let's put it back together. See if I can remember how to do it. So that goes in there. They slide back up to there. So let's imagine it's loaded up with film. And then what you do is once you put the film in, you'd wind that on until you saw like the No.1 appear in that little window. But this is the magic bit. This is why I love folding cameras. Pop that wet. This bit slides open. Here we go. It's looking interesting already. This bit slides forward, and there we have our gorgeous. In fact, let me just tip the tripod back a little bit. See if I can maybe zoom out a little bit as well. Ooh, I'm zooming in wrong way, just so you can get a better look at it. What a great looking camera! And as I say, it's from between 1915 and 1925. So as you can see, it's in pretty good condition. The only thing that is missing is normally there would be like a pen, a stylus here, because the idea with these ones is that they were called. I can't quite remember, but the idea was that what you would do is, after you'd taken a picture, you would put this window down here, and using the stylus or the pen, you would write literally on the film what you'd taken a picture of, hold it up to the light, and then that would create an image on the film. So it was like the original EXIF data for photographs. It's actually dead easy to use, but I guess quite hard to use properly. That's the viewfinder there, well, one of the viewfinders, and when you look for it, everything's reversed left to right, so as you're moving the camera around, everything moves in a strange way, so I find it quite difficult to get anything level. That's one of the viewfinders, and then the other viewfinder is there, so you can look through that one when you're in landscape orientation. It takes huge negatives, they're massive. You only get, I think it's 8 shots on a roll of 120 film, so they're full of detail, and they are beautiful things. The way that we can control exposure is on the front, and what we have is down here. These are the aperture controls, and you might just be able to see the aperture. Can you see the aperture changing inside? See, there's no glass on the front of it, because apparently they were very prone to flare, so they stopped putting glass on the front. The glass is behind the shutter. So you have to move that backwards and forwards, and we've got 4, 3, 2 and 1, and what I understand is 2 is f16, and then 3 f32, or no, I think 3 might be f16 anyway, and 1. But again, when you're shooting film, you're not really that bothered about getting your exposure spot on, because there's quite a lot of latitude in most film for getting it wrong. And at the top we've got some shutter speed controls. There's a 50th of a second, 25th of a second, bulb, and time. So with bulb, when you press the shutter down, you have to hold it down, and when you let go. But with T, you press it and it stays open, and you press it again to release it. Oh, there's 25th, and there's 50th. and then to focus it, you might just be able to see. Can you see this thing here? There's a distance scale on there in feet and meters, and then on this side there's a thumb wheel. So as you move the thumb wheel, can you see the bellows moving sort of towards the end? So that would be for close-up photography. And as I move it the other way, I'm just sort of rolling that thumb wheel, goes for further away. And it looks like, you know, you could undo that, and you could undo that screw there, and then you could calibrate it all. And that's it really. I mean, I was quite nervous when well, not nervous. When you're trying old cameras, you know, you just don't know whether it's going to work or not. But I was really chuffed to find out that when I had these pictures developed, they were pretty sharp. You know, they were okay, and the exposure was okay. And the only thing was this funny flare that you'll see in the photos, which is in the bottom left-hand corner, which might be something to do with this window. Because, as you can see, on the back of the paper, there's numbers, so that you know when you've got to like 1, 2, 3, etc. But the thing is, with newer film, it's much more sensitive to light, and all sorts of light, than older film. Older black and white film, I'm pretty sure, wasn't sensitive to red light. And so this little plastic window that you can see through is probably letting through too much light, and it's actually spoiling the film that's already there. So that could be it. So what I might have to do next time is, when I'm shooting with it, when I'm winding the film on, do it somewhere where there's, you know, very little light. You know, maybe if I just cover it up, or just do it something like that, and then as soon as I've wound it on, put the little cover back in place as well. But what a great, you know, antique that's still working, that you can take out and you can shoot with today, and make photos just as good as it could almost 100 years ago. There's loads of different versions of this type of camera. This one says on the front, it says #1 Pocket Kodak, made in the USA by Eastman Kodak Company, Rochester, New York. And then you've got the details about the shutter and the lens. It says Codex number 0, shutter made in USA by Eastman Kodak Company, Rochester, New York. And this is the one where, instead of having f-stops, we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. You can search the internet, and I'll see if I can find, I'll link to it when I do the video on robnunphoto.com with what the different numbers mean. But I'm pretty sure 2 was f16, 1 is f8, and then the other ones are f32, and might be f6. It doesn't look quite right. I won't say any more. I'll do a bit of research before I say stuff, and then we've got shutters there. How cool is that, to whip that out and take some photographs? And then when you want to put it away, just make sure you're focused out to infinity, and there's like a little catch you press there, press it in, and then push that, and then the whole thing slides back. Push those in, flip it back, seal it up, and you're good to go. And in fact, I did get it with this rather tatty case, which is probably the original case. So that goes in there. It's all ready to take some more wonderful photographs. Let's just have one more look at it. It's such a fantastic piece of kit, fantastic piece of photographic history. And the best thing about, you know, old cameras is that they're antiques, they're photographic history, but they still work. And it's like you can see the world, how people saw the world or took photographs of the world, you know, 80 to 100 years ago. Well, my name's Rob from robnunphoto.com, and that was my quick look at the #1 Pocket Kodak folding camera. Thanks for watching.